Scary but true, there just aren't that many new cars left on sale in Australia under $30,000. This is one of them, the new MG3 small hatchback. And here we're testing the cheapest model in the range, the Excite. Does budget motoring still deliver a cheap or cheerful experience? Well, we're going to find out. And let us know what you think. Would you buy an MG3? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. The previous MG3 was Australia's top-selling 5-door city car for 7 years straight, but the new generation climbs around $5,000 in price for the base model with a petrol engine. The hybrids are even more expensive. The key competitors for the MG3 are the smaller and cheaper Kia Picanto, the Mazda 2, Suzuki Swift and Toyota Yaris. So the MG3 Excite is priced from $23,990 plus on-road costs, but at the moment it's on sale for $24,990 drive away. It's the base model in a 4-model range, and this one we're testing is absolutely bog stock, no options at all. How does that pricing compare with models from other manufacturers in the same segment of the market? Well, it's more expensive than the Picanto, it's about the same as the Swift, and it significantly undercuts the Toyota Yaris, which only comes as a hybrid. A long 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty helps allay potential customer concerns about durability. There is also a fixed price servicing schedule, although the intervals are only 10,000 kilometres, which means you'll be coming back to the workshop more often than some other models like the Yaris, which is serviced every 15,000 kilometres and undercuts the MG3 by more than $600 in servicing costs over 5 years. When it comes to the exterior, the key thing about the new MG3 is how much bigger it is than its predecessor in all measurements except for its 7mm lower roof height. The exterior design is all new as well, trading in boxy for a sleeker look. The key standard exterior feature is 16-inch alloy wheels, but if you want stuff like a sunroof or LED headlights, you have to opt for the higher spec Essence. In an era where low-blow turbochargers and hybrid electric assistance is common for petrol engines, the MG3 Excite sticks to the bare bones necessities. The engine is a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder, sitting transverse in the engine bay, driving the front wheels via a continuously variable transmission, or CVT. MG doesn't make any outlandish performance claims for this engine, while the fuel consumption claim, running on 91 RON fuel, isn't that special either, especially when compared to some of the more sophisticated powertrains doing the rounds at the moment. Inside the MG3, there's a lot that reminds us of our reigning car sales car of the year, the MG4 EV. Same sort of squared off steering wheel, digital dash sitting in here behind it, and this infotainment touchscreen up on the dashboard. Look, the Chinese manufacturers, including MG, are very good at that first glance at making a positive impression. This stuff all looks very slick and modern. This is a car built to a discount price, and it shows up in the hard plastics that comprise most surfaces. The way the steering wheel only adjusts for height, the way the glove box clangs open, and in the lack of power adjustment for the driver's seat. But that driver's seat is also sizable and supportive, and the fundamental cabin build quality seems solid. Up front, there's no shortage of places to put your stuff. This shelf is a terrific place for your phone, although it's not a charger. There's also plenty of cup holders and bottle holders for whatever stuff you want to drag into your car with you. And the glove box, well, it's a bit uncouth, but it's sizable, so it's got a good appetite for your stuff. The budget focus of the MG3 is further emphasised by the limited number of push buttons and the complete absence of dials to control infotainment functions like volume. Having to drill into the touchscreen so much or work your way through the steering wheel controls to adjust infotainment is unnecessarily complicated. The MG3 Excite isn't over-endowed with infotainment features. For instance, there's no sat-nav or digital radio, but there is cabled Apple and Android smartphone mirroring. However, in my experience with CarPlay, it was a complex process to reverse back through the screen setup to access the aircon controls. The basic idea of all this is fine, it's just the way it's been integrated seems clunky. The digital dash is small and limited in the amount of information it can clearly provide. The tachometer, for instance, is buried down here in the right-hand corner. It really is an afterthought. On the other hand, the adaptive cruise control functionality is excellent. One press on the steering wheel and away you go. If you want an all-encompassing view of your surroundings when reversing, then you'll have to opt for the MG3 Essence. The Excite gets his simple but clear reversing camera. No MG3 gets front parking sensors, which seems pretty cheap. The new MG3 has been rated only 3 out of a possible 5 stars by ANCAP in recent testing based on its latest protocols. A variety of issues have been raised around structure, tuning and omitted equipment such as a front centre airbag. But the new MG3 is certainly better equipped than its predecessor, even in entry-level Excite form. It comes with a decent level of safety kit that includes autonomous emergency braking, adaptive cruise control and various forms of lane and cross traffic monitoring. One of the important fundamental changes with the new MG3 is a 50mm longer wheelbase, and that instantly translates into more rear legroom. Check it out. This car is set up for a 180cm driver, yet here I am in the back seat. My knees aren't even pressing into the backrest, and yes, this is a small car. Also, headroom, pretty generous. And I can confirm, although it is squeezy, you can fit 3 adults across the back seat for a short journey. But there's not much to get excited about back here when it comes to features. No Mac pockets, no fold-down armrests, no cup holders, and oddly shaped door bins. At least there are air conditioning vents and a single USB-A port. So not much in the way of features in the boot either. At 293 litres, you're really only going to fit one full-size suitcase in here. You want to add more? Then you're going to have to fold down the single-piece rear seat. Yep, no split fold at this money. But here's one great feature, a spare tyre. It's only a space saver, but it's better than the goo the hybrid makes do with. Okay, so that's the new MG3 Excite from front to back and inside and out. Now let's go for a drive and see how it performs. To be honest, I never drove the old MG3. As far as I'm aware, MG Australia never even put one on its press test fleet, so draw your own conclusions from that. So no gazing into the rear view mirror here. We're going to assess the new MG3 purely on its driving merits. And you know what? It's got a few. Okay, so the powertrain probably isn't foremost amongst them. The engine is a bit of a dawdler, sort of tip-in throttle acceleration from a standing start is nothing special. It is more enthusiastic when it's got a couple of thousand revs on board, but fair to say, hill climbing is not this engine's friend. The CVT also eddies and flows in that typical CVT way if left to its own devices. However, you can manipulate the artificial gear steps via the drive shift lever down here, and it does wake things up somewhat. It makes the whole powertrain feel that bit more engaged and more enjoyable to drive. Move on to the chassis, and that is more of a highlight than the powertrain. The suspension tune not only provides us with decent handling, it also gives us a pretty comfortable ride. Look, the suspension system itself is pretty simple and has its limitations, but control is good. Only a series of rapid fire bumps sort of unsettles the car, but for the most part, it tracks along smoothly and comfortably. Even some big hits on test didn't dislocate it too much. What lets the MG3 driving experience down are the infuriating drive assist systems that insist on bonging, vibrating and snatching at the steering wheel. The worst offender is the overspeed alert that chimes in when you go even a K or two over the speed limit. Infuriatingly, to switch it off is a multi-step process, and you have to do it every time you get in the car. On test, the MG3 came out at a fuel consumption average of 7.2 litres per 100 kilometres, so not too much worse than the claimed average, but it's still not a brilliant figure when compared to vehicles like the Yaris Hybrid and Swift Mild Hybrid. They can get into the 4s in the real world. Overall, the MG3 Excite doesn't quite live up to its name when it comes to the driving. It's more a mildly pleasant surprise than an exciting experience. And that kind of applies more widely to the MG3 Excite as well. Beyond the drive experience, it offers strong safety equipment, solid warranty support, and decent comfort equipment for the price. But the powertrain is a bit of a struggler. The ergonomics of the infotainment are fiddly, and those drive assist systems are just too intrusive. So there are pluses and minuses here. So add it all up, and where does that leave us? Well, by the inflationary standards of 2024, the new MG3 is definitely still cheap motoring. But cheerful? Well, that's probably stretching it a bit far. Competent is a more accurate description of this vehicle. And to be fair, for this money, that's about as much as you can ask for. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. And don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below.